How's it going, everyone? Luxeley here, doing a little bit of leveling. Personal stories, enduring pain. Yes, we're both Crichton. I guess, whatever. Doesn't really matter what I choose. It's like A, B, C, or D. Oh, come on, this isn't a tough one. Well, see, when they first mentioned Falcon Company, I was thinking like AT&T, Microsoft, and I went with a completely different decision, but whatever. I was completely wrong. What kind of company? It's like military company, not corporation company. It's interesting how words can do that sometimes. I mean, just look at this city. I mean, is this amazing or what? It really is. And the thing is, they put so much work in MMOs when it comes to cities. That's where a lot of the work goes, because there's voice acting and there's just tremendous development time, and they really don't get a lot of use, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate. That was one of the obstacles that I remember a few people discussing in a video that I saw about putting in a new race in Guild Wars 2. I mean, there's a lot of programming issues, such as building a brand new city. Where do you put it? And in all this time and effort that you put into it, it's not just the architecture, it's not just finding the space and coming up with a concept. There's a lot of voice acting that goes with that as well. And that voice acting is not just in one language, so it's a hell of a lot of work. And especially if you're going to go throughout the rest of the game and you're going to put in voice acting for that new playable race. They don't necessarily have to do that, but it obviously makes for a... Yes, I am a hero. Thank you. I accept tips, by the way. So there's a lot of work that goes into it as far as building the city. Then you're going to have your starting zone.
You must be the hero Thackeray warned me
Story
about.
time.
He says you're investigating the Falcons. That true?
Yes. Captain Thackeray said you'd help me.
I don't like this guy's beard.
Anything about centaurs taking prisoners?
Thackeray's been swaddled in the royal court for too long. He's forgotten how rough it is out here. You wasted a trip. Falcon Company is long gone. May Grinth have mercy on their
Little
souls.
jab on Mr. Thackeray, even though he's not there to defend himself.
Centaurs at the north gate. Get the monks inside. To arms.
Right on schedule. Come on, hero. You're about to learn what it's like outside the city gates. To the north gate. After you. Push them back. I don't want them inside.
So what I was saying about the race is you have to develop a brand new city. You have to develop a starting zone, and in some cases you're probably going to have to give a zone that is right after the starting zone. As you know, the Sylvari and the Asura, they share that secondary area outside the starting zone, and to some extent one of those areas. But the fact of the matter is, so now you got two zones, you got a major city, you have to have voice acting, you have to implement all the new animations, you have to implement all the old armor plus new armor. How is it going to fit? How's it going to fit in the animations? Animations for different types of weapons. Since every other race can play every single class in the game or every profession in the game, that's a lot of animations, considering each particular profession can use up to about 8 different weapons and offhands, maybe even more. That number probably goes higher, probably maybe 10 to 12 each. So it's a lot of work. It's a hell of a lot of programming work, but they do need a selling point. And I think there's no better selling point than introducing a new race. If they did introduce a new race, what race would you like to see? I'd cast my vote for the Tengu, quite honestly. Skrits or Quaggins won't really excite me. Might kind of like a dwarf, but I'd like something outside that pure humanoid form. Something different like a Tengu I think would be really interesting. But those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Leave it in the comments. This guy's about to get his ass kicked. Rude the Rover. Rover. Luxley can read. He's the Reaver. Well, guess what? I'm a Revenant. And a Revenant's better than a Reaver, so therefore you lose. I don't know how that makes sense to me, but somehow it does. And I get a chest. Yay! So I am officially level 21. Here you go. See, I kicked his ass, Captain. Make me Captain too now. Or at least a Lieutenant. Rendezvous with the squad. Centaur camp.
My
Hey,
backup.
Sarge, how's it
Has
going?
the captain lost his mind? I expected an entire squad.
What is all the ragging on my Captain Thackeray? My God. My God. Get a little Valley Girl on the dude. Like, my God.
We have our orders.
There seems to be a lot of Taninis here. So, whatever. We'll just fight them all.
Reinforcements inbound. Come on.
Just take them all out. Whatever. I am Godzilla. You are Japan. Or in this case, the Centaur. Bye-bye. He's running on a treadmill, dead. Thanks for playing. Okay, Sarge, how did I
You
do?
might find prisoners' belongings inside that cage near the tent. Check it out. I'll cover you.
Okay, you cover me. Why do you give me the dangerous work and you just gotta kind of like hang out and have a cigarette? That doesn't make any sense to me. What's this? Oh.
The only reason I followed you in there was because you're you. I didn't even think we'd survive, but you were great. Hey, what did you find?
A soldier's journal, half buried in the cage. It has the Falcon Company insignia on it and a list of survivors inside. My sister's name is there.
Oh boy.
Deborah.
Deborah.
I thought Captain Trevelyan said there were no survivors.
Trevelyan may be lying to cover his tracks. The book accuses him of
guy
setting
looks
the company
stoned.
up to be attacked by centaurs.
Or confused. One or the other. His eyes are just
I
like
don't know what
rolling
to
like,
think.
really? Oh, wow.
Trevelyan a traitor? You don't think
It's
he
like
sent us out
thinking
here
is like
alone
an
to die,
extra,
do you?
extra
He wasn't even
effort for
happy
this
to do it.
NPC here.
It's a distinct
It's
possibility.
just like, oh my God, what
But
do I
don't
do?
worry, Bigsby. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I have to make a decision.
together.
Bye, Bigsby. What's he looking at? He's just standing there. So what do I have to do now? Okay. The centaurs, blah, 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 blah. Kill centaurs, kill centaurs. Got it. Okay, thanks. Ah, the Ettins. Good old Ettins. 2 heads are better than 1. Not exactly. Alright, whatever. I'll do whatever it takes to find my sister. That's probably what I'm just gonna end up choosing, yes. Little crowns, and I have to call Captain Thackeray. I'm gonna go find Trevelyan, whatever his name is, blah 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 blah. Go to Trevelyan. Good idea, you do that. And I get a reward. What do I get? I get a little heart thing, which really doesn't help me much. Thanks. Ooh, you scared me. You scared me. He's got 2 heads, and they kind of clunk together. They're like Siamese twin Ettins. That would make them like quadruple heads, though, doesn't it? I don't know, but that's what they look like. So we got to kill some Ettins. You know, it's really interesting how World of Warcraft has been copying Guild Wars 2 lately. They recently, in the new X-Pack Legion, which from a PvE standpoint is tremendous. It's great. It's pretty much everything that people wanted on the menu. They did a fantastic job. From a PvP standpoint, it's seems to be a work in progress, is the best I could say, because I could think of a lot of great things about it. I could think of a lot of poor things about it. But my point is that they copied the PvP structure, where experience, which used to be a currency, is now a reward, much like the reward tracks that you see in Guild Wars 2. Of course, Guild Wars 2 has a better reward system, not necessarily with rewards, because sometimes you get something absolutely useless, but there's a choice. You can get armor. There's a lot of things going on. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Fine, Captain Thackeray. I'm glad you're here.
By the way,
Trevelyan's a
why did those 2 guys say bad
On
words
top
about
of
you?
2 fresh counts of attempted murder. He was the one who betrayed
Very
the
bad
Sleeping
words.
Falcons.
Bigsby's
Like,
letter
I
said,
know a lot of words. I
and
know a
Trevelyan
lot of
kept
words.
insisting
I know
no one
bad
was in the
words.
cave.
I know good words. I know a lot of
Too
words.
strongly for me to believe him.
Donald Trump.
I'm glad you made it out.
Captain, I think Trevelyan knows something about the survivors of Falcon Company. I need
I'd
to
love
ask
to
him a
see
few
an NPC
questions.
of Donald Trump
By all
and even
means.
Hillary Clinton
Anything he
in,
can do
in,
to
a,
help
in
redeem
any given
himself would
MMO.
in
That
his
would be
best
hysterical.
interests.
It really would.
Life in prison. Can
It
be
really,
rough.
I mean, it wouldn't have to be Donald Trump per
You
se,
hear
but it would
that,
just be some
Trevelyan?
character.
You better
You know,
answer
you
my
could call him
friend's
maybe
questions.
Ronald
It's a
Grump,
long way to
you know,
prison.
and people would just know it's
Ooh,
Donald
to be
Trump.
very
They just would know
uncomfortable.
by, hey, I know a lot of good words. I know a lot of big, we're going to build a wall. It's going to be a beautiful wall. It's going to be a big wall. People like big walls. People like me. Vote for me. And then you'd have Hillary Hillary Clinton have her character. You know, you could probably put her next to a drugstore or a hospital or something. Yeah, I'm having a blast watching these elections. It's kind of like watching a really sarcastic cartoon for me. I'm really having a blast watching it. And if any of you are like hardcore Trump supporters or hardcore Hillary supporters, is it really the character that you support? Is it the person you support? Or is it one of the issues that they stand very strong for? I could respect if you respect them because an issue is very, very important to you. But as far as character is concerned, as far as whether these people are genuine leaders, I'd just love to see an NPC. I think it would do wonders for any given MMO. It'd be hysterical. But of course, they're not going to get political. They're not ever going to get political. It's just not going to happen. And that makes sense because anytime you get political, if you just say, hey, I'm a Republican, hell, Ronald Reagan, he's like Jesus, all of a sudden you just pissed off all the Democrats. And if you go, hey, JFK's the man. He was great president. He was the embodiment of the American dream. And now you just pissed off a bunch of Republicans. And both happen to be very great men, and both happen to be very great leaders. Of course, Reagan doesn't remember what he did, and Kennedy kind of was shot before his time, but, that's what happens. If you do represent something that is bucking the system and has some quality to it, has some shake, rattle, and roll to it, so to speak. You're going to shake things up. You're going to find ways to make it better. You're going to make a lot of enemies. And that's why you don't see politics in games, MMOs particularly. So we got a new ability here with my Macy's corporation thing again. And as you guys could see, you guys could read, obviously, so I won't read for you. Because I can't read. I'm like on a kindergarten level reading level. Plus, I don't have my glasses on. But I don't know if I like the Mace ability that much. I'm just kind of trying different things. I do like this ability, though. This one looks kind of different because it's just an instant blindness pretty much every 10 seconds. So and the thing is, in this game, I'm starting to realize that since a lot of things aren't telegraphed because there's really no cast time, I mean, very, very few abilities have a cast time, and usually you can move on to cast while you're casting, which is something I really, really like about Guild Wars 2. But the point is, they're not telegraphing what they're going to do. So in a sense, you kind of have to recognize if you really want to play above. Again, you're interrupting
Sorry to intrude,
me.
Your Majesty, but this can't wait. There's a traitor in the Ministry.
Uh-oh.
That's a serious accusation, Captain. You know the law. Can you provide the required evidence to back up your claim?
We're working on it, Your Majesty. Captain Trevelyan confessed that a minister ordered him to reveal patrol routes to the enemy. The Screaming Falcons died because of it.
Impossible. A minister would never betray our soldiers. I wish this matter investigated immediately.
Nice red coat.
The ministry's
It's like
honor is at
scarlet red.
stake. Captain Trevelyan
It looks like he got in a fight with somebody. He was throwing bananas and the other guy was throwing cranberries. And guess what? He lost.
I am the one impugned. I'm not guilty.
Certain people can get away with wearing like a red dress coat
As a
like
show
that.
of
He's
faith,
not one of
I
them.
place myself
Like she could get
completely in your
away with that. My
Thank you.
character can get away with
The
that.
Shining Blade will take you into
I
custody.
think a Char
You'll
might
be
be
kept
able to get
under
away
house
with that.
arrest while we get to the bottom of this.
But not him.
Logan, I remember that one Seraph transferred out of Trevelyan's
Now that's a
company
nice outfit.
just after the Falcons
Actually,
were
you can buy
ambushed.
that at the Guild Wars 2
Sergeant
gem
Howard.
store.
He
And you
might
can make
know
it blue
something.
just like that.
How? As I recall, he patrols the east.
By the way, Logan, a lot of those guys were making fun of you before, just letting you
Why
know.
don't you find out what he knows? I'll guard the queen.
So now I was talking about a lot of things. I don't remember what I was talking about. It's just a shame. They interrupted me. I'll check in soon. Thank you for playing. Wow, I mean, the city is just so humongous and they have details in such insignificant places that it's just amazing. You really have to be aware of that. Like those little ivy that are falling down that white wall, it just really just adds immersion to it, and not many people see that, which is pretty amazing.
Sergeant Howe, I need to talk to you about Captain Trevelyan.
Merciful Grenth. I knew this day would come.
Uh-oh, he doesn't look happy.
Did Trevelyan send you to kill me?
Yes.
No, calm down. Captain Thackeray sent me.
Nothing like
Why would
posting
Trevelyan
exactly how
I delivered
exactly
Trevelyan's
what you're going
messages
to
the
do to your
minister
enemies.
and
Like every single Bond villain, he has to reveal his big, long, complicated plot to James Bond, and then he just goes off and has a cigarette and lets Bond die in like 30
So
minutes,
that's
which
how
gives him
Trevelyan
time to
communicated
escape,
with
which
the
he always
Centaurs.
does.
Who was his contact?
I
in the
never
ministry?
understood that.
I don't know.
Please, someone enlighten me. Let me know
She
in the
was
comments
the
why
Falcon
every
before
Bond
transferred
villain
to
has to
Lion
give away
Guard.
his
She's
plot
stationed at
and
Black
exactly
Haven
what he
now.
plans to do, and it disappears and lets some event take place in 5 or 10 minutes to kill James Bond, and it never works. Because there's, 30 James Bond movies, and he's still alive? I can't figure it out. There might even be more than 30.
You want this to blow up in our face?
Maybe close to 40. I think closer to 40. Okay, guys. Yeah, we got you. You're dead. Yeah, I just don't remember what I was talking about. I know I was talking about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton NPCs, and I was talking a little bit about why these games or MMOs don't get political, because no matter what they do, they're going to alienate half their audience, and you don't want to do that. You really don't.
Those bandits caught us off guard, but they didn't steal anything. It was as if they just wanted to kill people.
I suspect they were here to kill you, Dansky. I need to speak with you. I'm investigating accusations of treason related to the fall of Falcon Company.
You have no idea how glad I am to hear that. I always suspected Trevelyan was rotten, but I had no proof.
Nobody has
Falcon
proof
Company
in
was
this
the
game.
finest unit I've ever
Nobody
seen.
has evidence. You
But
notice
I've
that?
been recovering from an injury.
I suspected this, but I have no proof. These are bad guys,
You
but
must
we
know
have no
something.
proof. We have no
Tell
proof.
me,
We have no
Did you
proof.
ever see Trevelyan meet with a minister?
No. My job was to deliver messages for the Seraph.
So
The
you're a
ones I brought
mailman
from
in
Trevelyan
nice
were
armor.
addressed to Minister Arton, but I know for a fact that Arton never got those letters.
So you're a bad
After
mailman.
Falcon Company fell, I found out that the guy I'd been delivering them to didn't even work in Arton's office.
That's complicated.
Nobody'd ever seen him before. I delivered
Maybe he's
Falcon
invisible.
Company's last patrol route to that guy too. After the unit was attacked, I put it together, and I just couldn't stay in the Seraph.
I like the
You knew the route
Seraph.
they were to patrol.
No, you don't want to leave
Sure.
the Seraph. They have a
They were
good
supposed
medical
to go
plan.
through the Keswick's Hills. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Thank you. What do I take? Oh, it doesn't really matter. I'll end up replacing it in a week anyway, let alone a few days. That's the thing about the lower level armor, but I get a little bit of a boost. And a level boost, level 22. Congratulate me. Hey everybody, I appreciate you checking in, watching a little bit of Guild Wars 2. Leave a thought in the comment. Always say hello as I say goodbye. Luxley out.